So this is the Why Join CLDA webinar. I am Amanda Cook. I'm Director of Membership and Marketing for CLDA. This webinar is really intended to give you a better idea of CLDA membership, what you can gain out of it, how it can help your business, things like that. And so we've got several key leadership individuals on the call today who will go through some of the um, features and benefits of CLDA membership. And so just a quick overview of today's event. We'll do some introductions. We'll hear from our president. We'll talk about the history just slightly and the 3 pillars of success for CLDA members and member benefits. And we'll have Q&A at the end. So if you're not talking, you might want to just put yourself on mute so that we can hear everything clearly. But if you do have a question, feel free to raise your hand or speak up or put it in the questions box and we can answer those as we go through. Obviously, we'll hit all questions at the end if we don't get to them. But I do want to welcome today's leaders that we have with us. Joel Pinsky, who is CLDA president. He is from Global Messenger and Logistics. We'll hear from him in a little bit. Rosalind Ellerby, she's membership committee chair, and she's from Express Errands and Couriers. She is also on the board of directors. And Chris Kane is a membership committee chair as well, and he is from Drive by Courier Board. So we have some really great individuals and leaders on the call today, both within the industry and within CLDA. So I'm excited that they're here to share with you. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Joel to introduce himself and talk a little bit more about CLDA.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Amanda. As Amanda said, I'm Joel Pinsky, the current CLDA president, and I'm CEO of a company called Global Messenger and Logistics, which is headquartered in Baltimore, Maryland, and does work all throughout the U.S. I want to welcome everybody to our webinar today. I think the opportunity for you to learn about the CLDA here today in a small group setting is fantastic, and please, bring those questions on. A little bit about the CLDA, if you don't know, it was formed back in, I think, like 1987 as a small group of companies that were focusing on strictly messenger services, and it was the MCAA when I first got to know it. In 2013, they rebranded to Customized Logistics and Delivery Association because our industry had changed from a messenger association to people who did all sorts of different types of business. And today we've got logistics professionals of all types. We've got carriers, shippers, drivers, 3PLs, vendors, with the latest technology and services, air cargo carriers, you name it, they're there. We bring the opportunity to our members to network, to gain business. One of the biggest things that we do as members is we share business amongst each other. People are always worrying, well, where can I find business? Well, when you network with your peers, you're going to find business. Some people find it day one, and some people, it takes a year or so to find it. But if you stick at it and keep at it, you'll find it. I can personally speak how the CLDA has changed my life and our company's life. I went to my first conference in Las Vegas in 2010. Didn't know anybody from the association, was brand new into the industry, and people were so willing to share their stories and their knowledge and eventually their business. It just helped us grow. It helped myself grow, and here I am today. I'm proud to be able to say I'm your CLDA president. So get involved, stay involved, and keep at it, and you will find it's well worth the investment of time and effort. So with that, we can talk about the next slide, which is our 3 pillars that the CLDA stands on, which is education, advocacy, and networking. Advocacy, is a really, really big part of what we do. We're always looking out for what is taking place that affects our industry. Education, we do all the time, trying to find out what our members want to know and teach them more. Networking, I think we're the #1 networking organization in the country for people in our field. But I'll let others go into that further. And with that, I'll turn it over to Rosalind Ellerby, one of our co-chairs for the membership committee. Thanks, Roz.
Yeah, thanks, Joel. Yeah, so let's talk about the success pillar of networking. Networking is why we're here. This is how you're going to get your ROI. I would say that in my own experience, people do business with people. So it's not business to business. So you want to make sure that you get out there, get involved, join committees, and just put yourself out there. The more people you know, the more opportunities that you have for yourself and for your business. But the value of participation, you want to make sure that you stay active. You don't want to just have a membership and you're paying yearly and you just don't never come. I want to meet everybody that's on this call and everybody that's listening that couldn't chime in to meet them in person at the FMF next year. What is it? February in Austin. That is a good time to do your networking. Outside of that, we also do our connects throughout the year. Like right now, we're going to have a connect in Chicago on the 17th. So if you're close to Chicago, please come out there and join us. But our biggest one is our Final Mile Forum. So make sure that you come out to Austin February 18th through the 20th and meet people, put your business out there, come with your business cards. But this is how you could get a good ROI for your membership. Don't just join and participate. Join and come to our events. And then on top of that, I'm going to say, make sure you're following us on LinkedIn so you don't miss anything. Like we were posting today, we posted last week, this week, all the time. But most importantly, just stay active, okay? And a piece of advice I would like to give is if you can, find something that you're passionate about and maybe join the committee. We have like membership committee. That's always great to meet people. We have the FMF. We have the shippers committee. We have all kinds of committees. You can find them on the website. So get involved. That's all part of your networking, not just networking with your potential prospects, but also networking with your peers. So the next success pillar is going to be education. Now, just like this webinar is a free webinar, we have webinars that are in our resource center for all of our members. There's no cost. However, if you're not a member, it would cost you $25 to view any of the webinars. But whether you're a driver, whether you're a carrier, whether you're a seasoned C-level executive, there's going to be something in the resource center there for you. And it's absolutely free. You have access to all of our past webinars, our past, I even think we had something from our FMF, was it 360? It was like a fireside chat, but anything, whatever kind of topic you're looking for, go there. I was talking to somebody and they were interested in doing deliveries for the vape. And I told them, I said, well, before you say yes to this customer, I said, maybe you should go to the resource center and watch the video where we did a webinar on the vape so you can get the pros and the cons. And it's also a good resource for you if you have employees, if you're getting them into the industry, maybe you're hiring somebody that doesn't have that much supply chain experience, send them into the resource center. That's free knowledge. And you know what else? It's not getting just that crazy information off of YouTube. You're getting it from reliable sources. Another education pillar that we do is the virtual roundtables. This is absolutely free. I like the in-person better, but virtual and in-person are awesome because you get to network. And again, networking and learning more about your peers and learning more about the people that are around you, the problems that they face. A lot of times we have like our shipper roundtables, our carrier roundtables, and we have a driver onboarding coming November 13th. So they're good to participate in. They're good for the education reasons. They're good for the knowledge. And then our archive, that is where you're going to go see years and years of webinars. You could actually even go and view our old magazines. We sunsetted our magazine earlier this year, so we're not doing any more print copies in person, I don't think, but you know, you never know how that goes. But all of our digital copies, you could go research. As a matter of fact, I think last February is the one I was in. So, and they're talking about AI. But yeah, so make sure you go there and anything that you're looking for. And you know what I like to tell people to do is just on your free time, just look at one of the magazines and I would go and see whoever was getting interviewed. And then I go find them on LinkedIn after I read their article and say, hey, you know, I just read your article in June, maybe 1989 magazine. And I like what you had to say, you know, and then I would send a connect and there you go, a connection, you know, and that's what you're there for. And 9 times out of 10, if they were in the magazine, then they're probably still members. And if not, hey, you just re-engage them to say, you know what, maybe I need to come back to CLDA. But yeah, so always make sure you go into your resource center. Everything is in there for you. And it's free. And tell a friend to tell a friend. So
Hey,
next,
Rosalind, if I
yes.
could just add something, I mean, you're doing fabulous. In terms of the networking, I joined the CLDA in 2007. Like Joel and like Rosalind, I knew no one, zero. Um, I was an investor in a courier company, and this guy wouldn't go to one of these shows if you put a gun to his head. They're going to steal my clients. They're going to do this. That is nothing further than further from the truth. It is such a welcoming group of people who want to help your business grow. Full stop. Just come with business cards. Uh, I'm a vendor to the courier industry. I sell my products and services to courier companies, and I go and set up a booth. I've literally seen business get done right at my booth. Where are you from? Dallas, Texas. I might have a piece of business coming up real soon. Give me your card. That goes on all show. And all it has to do is that you get in front of a person. And you have to be consistent. You got to go, you can't just go 1 year. You got to be consistent and get involved with the committees. As far as the education, if you don't bring something out of this final mile form to bring back to your office as an actionable plan, it just doesn't happen. I mean, the modules that they put on, the education modules, are by far bar none the best about how to help you grow your business. Thank you, Rosalind. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. Go right ahead. I'm sorry if I interrupted.
Yeah, no, just jump in whenever you want, which reminds me, and you made a good point there, Chris. I would say that whenever you're starting out in any association, it takes time to get out there and I didn't jump in here and just started getting contracts and clients and business, but I will say that my second year, I did land a very high paying contract that I am still on to this day. And it was because I met the person at the prior FMF. They seen me soon as I at that FMF, and they were like, "Oh, there goes Rosalind Ellerby from Atlanta." And we just been doing business ever since, so it didn't happen right then, but it did happen. So you just have to just keep, putting at it. And in my mindset, when I go to these conferences, I don't say, "Oh, I'm going to get business." I'm going to make relationships, because people do business with people. I can't say that enough. So, and if I look at all my business that I have right now, and I'm trying not to get off sidetrack, but 90% of the business that I have right now is because of the relationships I built. And how did I get those relationships? Networking, putting myself out there, putting my business out there. Okay, so let's move on to our advocacy, which is pretty important. So with our advocacy, we love to say that this is definitely a success pillar, because what it is, in a short, I would say that advocacy comes with, we need funds for it, so we take donations. A lot of people sign up just to get automatic payments taken out, but they're like, well, what is advocacy? It's representation in Washington, D.C. Advocacy efforts include maintaining strong representation in Washington to influence policymakers when it comes to independent contractors, when it comes to the supply chain, when it comes to everything that's related to what we do, and we're out there raising our hand. We're out there going to the meetings. We're out there making sure that we get done right in this industry. So I would say that I highly recommend that, you make a donation, whether it's a monthly donation or whether it's a yearly donation. Like myself, I do a yearly donation. But this is what you need, because we're running businesses here. We don't have time to, go out there and, follow the policymakers, making sure that this is done right. And, so you have us to be your advocate, to go up there and make sure that everything's getting done right in our industry. We do have an annual fly-in, and that's where you'll get invited as a member to come. And even we have people that are not members that come as well. You have all types of businesses, vendors, anybody that's in this industry. But it brings the stakeholders together to discuss priorities and strengthen our logistics community and advocacy efforts, and collaborative partnerships, which here we are again, partnerships, and, it's all about who you know. But it comes from various organizations. Again, it could come from, the carrier, it could come from the shipper, it could come from vendors, it could just come from just somebody that maybe even retired in this industry. So just, look into that. I know that, and just to give you my background, my first couple years, I didn't even realize, the power of advocacy, and I didn't even know what it was. And at the time, I was donating, didn't even know, but until I realized, like, hey, I don't have time to be in Washington, D.C., fighting for what's right and making sure these policies are in place. But I have my people that stand behind me. So I would highly suggest, just whatever you could donate. It's not a requirement, but just remember that, we are standing there and making sure everything is good for you and your business and the future of your business, your legacy, your generational wealth, however you want to say it. But yeah, so without next one, we're going to go into member benefits, which this is Joel's jam right here. So the first one is in the member benefit. If you don't know, when you land on our website, you don't even have to be a member. But let's just say that you're in Texas and all your drivers are busy and you just got a new contract and they want you to start next week. Now we know, like in reality, that's a lot. But what you do is once you're a part of our community, well, I guess you don't have to be a part because it's public information, but you could just go to the find a delivery partner and just go find somebody and be like, hey, I'm a fellow CLDA member. I'm in the bind right now. I see that you're out there in Texas and I need about 10 drivers for about 2 weeks till we get caught up. This is where you could go for that. Or maybe even you just want to look for some kind of strategic partnership. It's there, so make sure you use your partner directory. And honestly, I will tell you that what I like to do and on my board, not my board time, but my free time is meet people I have not met. Okay, so just pick up the phone and like, hey, this is Rosalind. We're a fellow CLDA member. I just wanted to introduce myself to you. Hey, are you going to FMF next year? Because I would love to meet you in person. Now that you made that connection, now I'm going to go on LinkedIn because we actually talked and I'm going to do a connection and be like, hey, it's me again. Looking forward to seeing you at FMF. So get out there and put yourself out in front of people. Because again, I'm going to say it one more time. This is going to be the last time I say it. People do business with people, not business to business. Okay. But also, whenever we have anything that's late breaking, like FMF season, you'll see that on the front page of our website as well. Utilize it. Anything what here says join the committee, that's easy access right there. So remember I said get involved, join the committee. And that's another way to meet people. You're going to meet other members that are on the committee. You get to meet the staff because Amanda's going to be there. 9 times out of 10, Joel's going to be there, but just put yourself out there. So yeah, put yourself out there. All right, moving on to some more benefits.
One second, Rosalind.
Yeah.
Just as a follow-up to what Rosalind was talking about, the partner directory is that yes, you can go and look at it, but the real benefit is that when you're in it. So being a member makes you a part of the member directory, the partner directory. If you're a driver, we have a driver directory. And again, that solution search is what Chris Kane is talking about. He's a solution provider. He sells to the industry. And so in the solution search, there is a number of CLDA members who are offering goods and services like insurance or software, technology, route optimization, things like that that can help you grow your business and be a partner in your success. And so the real benefit is being in the directory so people can find you as someone who is a leader in the industry and working on behalf of the organization, your CLDA member. So you're considered one of the best and brightest in the industry. So I think that's the added benefit of being a member, is that you are in the directory and not just someone searching the directory.
Yes. And now that you said that, I brought back a memory that, I did get an air cargo client. They found me through the directory and I'm still doing business with them. It's been about 4 years now. And I was just like, wow. It's like, okay. As a matter of fact, there's not a regular client. They might call about once a month, for some TSA work, but hey, it's extra, income for the business. But yeah, so that's pretty much it on the benefits of building a community. Next slide. And education and resources. Okay, so I did talk about it earlier about the on-demand webinar access. Same thing. This is in the resource center, the magazine archives, that's there too. And the continuous education. Again, we're doing something all the time. I want to thank Amanda. What date is the insurance webinar that's coming up? I just seen the email today.
September 10th. So just next week.
Next week, yeah. So you're always gonna learn something. And even when I feel like something is like, I don't think I'm interested, I still go and I always learn something, something that I'm like, I'm glad I came. So continuous education is always there. So make sure you utilize your resource center, the education, and there's an education committee too, guys. So I'm gonna put that out there. Join a committee, join a committee. Okay, all right. So moving to the next slide. Oh, look at me. Okay. Hey. So again, networking and events, nationwide network. Members connect with peers from across the country. I would say across the world to expand their network because we're global here. So we do a lot, across the country, but there's across the world too. Then you have your knowledge and sharing, and I could say with the knowledge and sharing, could be like something dealing with like our panels at FMF, and it is so many good topics, and sometimes it's so hard to decide which one you want to go to. And it's like all the ones I want to go to are at the same time. I'm like, dang, what do I do? Do I half time here, half time there? But everything is good, And one thing about it, the people here will share with you. Like I was just surprised, just all the information that was getting poured into me when I first joined. And even if you ask a question, they don't know, they'll go take you to somebody that knows, and now you have another connection. So we as a family, we definitely do that here. And then again, building lasting relationships. In our industry, sometimes it's hard to find friends, okay, that are not in our industry. But here, I have so many friends, and these relationships are definitely going to be for a lifetime. And it's with people, like-minded people that can relate to the same issues that I relate to. So I can honestly say that this picture right here is taken at the new member reception. So all the new members, you'll see us, me and Chris there to welcome you in. And this is like a little networking event that we like to do. And, sometimes when you get started out there networking, people are kind of shy. But so we have like little games that we play to get you out your comfort zone and to get you meeting people. So all the new people and all the ones that are going to join, I look forward to meeting you at the new members reception in Austin. All right, next slide. Oh, look at all these benefits. These are all the discounts that you get. And you could go on our website. And do you have to log into the portal, Amanda? Yeah, okay, so you do have to log
Yes, so
in.
you can only access the links to these benefits if you are logged into the portal as a member. You have to be a member to access it.
Yes, but look at all this Verizon Business, Robinson Oil, like the tire buyer. Like this is all stuff that we need for our industry. Biz Choice is another one. Batteries Plus, HP. Everybody's moving on HP. HP printer, everybody, So make sure you utilize these discounts right here. We're working hard to change them and add new ones and get more that's more relevant for us. And just to keep going, we want it real big and robust. But this right here is Joel's baby. So I'm going to stop talking real quick and let Joel jump in because I know he has something to say.
Hey, I'll give you a simple example of things that we don't know exist, right? There's a company on here called Business Advantage. And I just went on the website one time to see what we could get there, right? So first thing I saw was discounted Sam's Club membership. And I'm like, well, why aren't I using that? Why am I paying full price? But the one that I liked better was discounted movie tickets. So these were things that I couldn't just go out on the web myself and get. And I'm like, well, why am I paying full price for things? I have this network put together because we have buying power that we all can utilize to save money on things we do. Robinson Oil, people don't use enough. You can get wholesale pricing on gas at many gas stations in your own states, right? Throughout the country, wherever you're operating. Your drivers would love it. We don't always go to do this and pass that along to our drivers. How many of our drivers would love if we could save them 15% on their cost of gasoline for the cost of a year or whatever it is? But we don't take the time to go here. Verizon gives you 22% off your base rate of the cost of your phone service. So I actually am on AT&T, and I called them and asked them to match Verizon's discount. So the next day I had 22% off my bill for for AT&T for everybody in my company. And I'm just like, wow, I didn't realize it's that simple. But if you go and make use of these benefits, you can save a lot of money. And that was the whole idea. I said, let's get benefits that people can't just go on the internet and get. Let's find things that are unique and special that our members can use. And our goal is to keep increasing the quantity of these benefits and the quality of these benefits. So hopefully you'll keep seeing these members increase in number and quality.
Yeah, thanks, Joel.
Sure.
So I'm going to turn it over to Amanda now.
She's on mute.
Oh,
I was gonna let Joel invite people to the association.
I'm happy to do that. But before I go and invite you to the association, I did a LinkedIn post today, and one of the things I want to remind you of is we have a Connect event coming up in Chicago. And the last Connect event in Austin, since that event, literally there's been millions of dollars of business that has been transacted between members. I can't even quantify it. I know some master contractors and some drivers came there, and the drivers that wanted to learn about TSA got enrolled to be in the program from other members there. Other people that were master contractors and drivers got business there. It just shocked me how quickly things were transacting. But if you come to the Chicago Connect and you're not a member, it'll cost you $25. By the time you're done to the Connect, you're going to want to join and be a member. And that $25 will go towards the cost of your membership. And in addition, for all those people that are on the webinar today, we're going to give you free membership for the rest of the year as part of signing up as a member. So you're going to get almost 16 months of membership for the price of 12. So we tell you, go ahead, enroll, become a member, and start using the benefits right away. And I'll turn it back over to Amanda from there.
Sure. Well, thank you so much to Rosalind, Chris, and Joel for talking more about CLDA and how you can get involved and grow your business. There were a couple of questions that were in the chat. I answered them in the chat. One of them was, how can you access this recording? I will make sure I send it to you after this so you have access to it and you can reference back to it if you need to. But are there any other questions? You feel free to raise your hand or take yourself off mute.
Somebody just put in the chat. Somebody just put in the chat. Where do I sign up, Amanda?
Nigel, good for you. Nigel, if you just go to clda.org/join, you can sign up immediately. You'll be taken through the join process and it'll identify what membership type you are, whether a carrier, driver, affiliate partner, shipper. And so that'll walk you through the process and get you signed up. And you don't need anything, any extra codes or anything. You'll get the discount today.
And if you're on, LinkedIn, scrolling through there, you'll see links to the registration as well as information on upcoming events. So website, LinkedIn, I'm sure Roz could tell you about other places you can go find all this information, but yeah, do it today, get signed up, because when it's full, it's full. When we run out of capacity, we run out of capacity. But that's our goal, is always to get the networking numbers to where everybody can network with everybody. And last time it was awesome. I'll post some pictures of it later today so you can see the last event.
You guys, I'd like to go into the granular aspect of advocacy. What do we fight? What do we fight for you? Let's say I'm a courier company owner and I use independent contractors. He could work for me, he could work for A company, he could work for B company. But the ICs that I use do 99% of their business with me. Uncle Sam comes to me and says, Chris, you don't have ICs, you have employees. You owe us 10 years of interest, penalties, and back taxes, effectively putting me out of business. So we fight for you to set up your businesses the correct way. We have tons of white pages on the website that teaches you how to run your business the correct way. So I'm mixing advocacy and education in one. It's the biggest hot topic button in the industry, always has been since I've been here, since 2007. And the CLDA does a great job in protecting your businesses and setting them up the correct way using independent contractors. That's it.
Thanks, Chris.
And I see lots of people, in the chat having conversation. Things.
I think, let me go back here. Lloyd, you asked what the cost of for members to attend FMF in February. It's roughly about $1,100 for a member to attend. And that includes your full conference registration. It allows you access to all of the education sessions, all of the exhibit halls, the receptions, any of our breakfasts and lunches, and any other extra items that are going on at the conference. So we will be opening registration up for that later this month. It's not open quite yet, but later this month you'll be able to register if you're ready to do that. But that's the full conference registration pass.
And people are asking if you can send a link to them to sign up for the Connect and membership, Amanda. I see that in the chat as well. Is
Yep,
that
I
something
will
we can
share
send out?
all of that. I will share all that via email with all of you who are on today. Again, if you just to sign up for membership, you can just go to clda.org/join and you can do it that way. Once, if you want to sign up for the Connect event, you can find that on under go to clda.org and look for the events tab, and it'll show you all of the events that are upcoming, which includes the webinar for next week. It includes the Connect event in 2 weeks. And then I believe there's another webinar up there that you can register for as well. We try to do webinars about once a month, plus a little extra here and there for things like this or virtual tables or the new member webinar that we'll be having in November. So anybody who's a new member, we encourage those people to join that webinar to kind of get the ins and outs of leveraging your membership as soon as possible, as soon as you get joined. Thank you, Rosalind, for putting that in there. So if you look at the link in the chat, Rosalind added that. Any other questions? Did I miss anyone? If you have a question and I missed it, feel free to take yourself off mute too. Happy to do that.
And I did.
Love to hear from some of the other people where they're from, that didn't put it in the chat.
Hello?
Hi, Julius.
Hey, how's it going? So I'm from Rhode Island and I'm working on starting my courier company. And I kind of got on this a little late. I was just interested to see how like CLDA can help me, when it comes to contracts or, working with you guys. Like how does, what are the benefits of starting a courier business and signing up?
Well, I'll jump in on this one. One thing I would say is I wouldn't start with the mindset of I'm coming to get contracts because, again, I said I wasn't going to say it no more, but people do business with people. So you're here to make the connections.
Connections.
Yeah. And as far as starting a courier business, hey, like every business needs a delivery. So, it's a very good business to get into. What made you get interested in starting a courier business?
So I've worked, for many companies delivering, packages and freight. So I was like, let me start my own business and, be able to make the connections that can get me in a career, to win.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you're gonna just start out and you're maybe just starting kind of like a master contractor, I would say you should get Chris's email and reach out to Chris because he works with a lot of independent contractors with his courier board.
Okay, that sounds good.
And Julius, I'll chime in as well.
Yes.
We do business in many different states. One of them happens to be Rhode Island.
Okay.
We try personally, when I task our team with finding partners, the first thing I tell them is to look on the CLDA Find a Partner website because we want someone to do business like we would do business. If we're not going to open up a shop in that town and we want to hire drivers, we want to find people who are going to represent our company the same way we would do things ourselves. So we know that people who've invested their time and money in the CLDA, we know that that's a good place to start, and we try to vet our partners that way. So it's a good place to begin, Julius. When you become a member of the CLDA, get your information right up on the Find a Partner. Come network with people because I'd like to meet you face to face and talk about your capabilities and things like that, as long with other people that are on this call. And that's what it's all about. That's how we got started. It was all through networking and learning from our peers. Everyone's willing to share their knowledge, their information, how to help you. And it's hard to do it all in a half an hour on a session like this, but come to a place like Chicago. It's very inexpensive to get there right now by flight. If you drive there, Rhode Island is a little far, but tell you, invest that time. I know people did it in Austin and they had business that came their way already since then. So just continue at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would add too, just get out there. You just have to get out there. If that's what you want to do, just put yourself out there and and whenever you need help, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Right.
Very
No,
true.
thanks for that advice. Thanks for that advice. And one more time, the membership you said was 1,100.
No, FMF.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then you
Yeah,
have to
so
think
our
about
membership rates are various depending on what category you're in and what your annual revenue is. So if you go to that clda.org/join, it will give you the membership rates for each of the categories.
Uh,
And so when you join, you'll just pay by that. And like I said, Julius, I don't know if you were on when we said this, but we will give you the rest of 2025 for free. So if you join today or after this webinar, you'll get the rest of the year for free, and you won't pay your dues again until you need to renew for January 2027. So your membership will be good through December of 2026.
okay, for a good. Okay, all right, sounds good.
Mm-hmm. And I will send everybody this in an email following today's webinar so that you can have it all in front of you if you need it.
Okay, thanks for that information.
You're welcome.
All right.
Somebody asked a really hard question there about tariffs in our industry. That's a really long discussion. That's a whole webinar in itself. But we've seen a lot of changes because of the tariffs, and now there's the de minimis rules are changing. So that's a deeper discussion for a future webinar, but it's definitely affecting the industry in all different ways. People were stocking their warehouses before the tariffs went into effect because they were worried they couldn't get anything. And right now we're seeing a lot of shipping delays. People can't get stock on things. So to be determined where everything's going to end up. And that's just a brief conversation on it, Lloyd, but definitely a topic that's going to be ongoing discussion for months ahead.
Yeah, and actually just yesterday we had an article in our weekly, we call it our CLDA Express, and it comes out every week on Wednesdays, and it is a weekly digest of information from CLDA, but also news information from around the industry. So it puts it all into one email for you that you can review. And the top story yesterday was about the de minimis rule. So that's an opportunity for you to stay on top of what's trending in the industry. And that goes to all of our CLDA members every week.
Yeah. I want to jump in and answer Javon's question. He said, is it best to start with your personal vehicle, or do you have to have a box truck or sprinter van and cargo van? I'm glad you asked, because a lot of people start out when they want to start in this industry and they jump out there and they go and lease a cargo van, they lease a box truck, and they don't have no signed contract. And when I say signed contract, I'm talking about, you negotiated a price and you're their exclusive courier. So I would say that I would wait until you actually have an opportunity that could pay for it. But you can start in your own vehicle. I started in the Chrysler Pacifica. So, and then now I have a fleet that I don't even drive. So, yeah, but I hope that answers your question, Javon.
And Jeffrey Rivera wants to know if he can speak, Amanda.
Yeah, Jeffrey, please feel free to jump in there.
All right, you just put one out. I'm sorry. Let's see how big is it.
Hello?
It is 9, weight 15.
Oh,
You-
hold on, let me
Pick up
let's
9 tooths and clip. Those tooths are kind of heavy. I mean, yeah, you
um
can grab it.
if
Just
you're
kind of keep in mind,
let's
it's
see.
kind of heavy.
I'm gonna mute. I think that's Terrence. Jeffrey, go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Jeffrey.
So I'm Jeffrey Rivera, and just wanted to say that I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I do have my own business already. I already have my LLC set up and everything. And the reason why I'm in this call is because I'm just looking to connect with you guys and learning about everyone and their story. So yeah.
Amanda,
Thanks, Jeffrey. Welcome.
Amanda, do we circulate a contact list from everybody on the call? Do we share that with people?
We can share, if you would like your contact information to be shared, please put it in the chat. If you wish not to be contacted, please don't put it in the chat. But if you want your contact information shared so that you can connect with each other offline or on LinkedIn, things like that, please feel free to put that in the chat, and I am happy to distribute that.
And I would say, y'all come on and connect with me on LinkedIn. Open invitation. Joel's open invitation to Chris, open invitation. Everybody's open invitation. You know, we're all connecting here. That's what it is. Connection is the new currency. So let's connect.
Yeah, I still hear me or am I still on mute?
We can hear you, Jeffrey.
You see her.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I do have a question though. So, trying to remember. So like right now I have about like 3 or 4 contracts that I'm working under, and I am using my personal vehicle. It's an SUV. It's a Toyota RAV4, and I was just trying to see how I can like. You think it's okay for me to like keep like going with my personal vehicle, or is it better to like get a cargo van? Like that's what I'm just trying to have. Like that's what I'm like having trouble with, because I am thinking about getting a cargo van, but I don't.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, do you work for a particular courier company?
What was that again?
Do you work for a particular courier company in the Atlanta area?
Yes, I'm working for Uni. There's a new one that's called Swift X. I also work for Matt Zoomer, and then the other one, the last one is Airspace.
So what I would do is I would talk to those people first who you do work in your SUV and say, listen, I'm thinking of getting a cargo van. What routes do you have and what does it pay? So then you can work backwards to see how much, when you go to purchase a cargo van, how much money you would make.
Okay.
But you know, you do make more money in a cargo van versus a car.
Yeah, that's what I heard from a lot of people too. So
You know, no question. But the best thing you could do is go to these people and say, I'm thinking of getting a cargo van. You know, how much do these routes pay? If they don't have, do any of these guys who you work for use cargo vans?
some of them do, but they preferably like use personal vehicles because they're like small packages, you know? They're not like big pack like products or like items or anything like that.
If you look, you know, I don't mean to go to this site we own, cbdriver.com, charliebravo.driver.com, and see if there are any. It's a free site to sign up to, and see if there are any companies in the Atlanta area looking for cargo van drivers.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I believe I did hear about the CB driver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and honestly, you could come and apply at our company because, you know, things change all the time in this industry, and it's eeclogistics.com, and I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll go ahead and shoot you a text or like, yeah, you said you have a LinkedIn, right?
Yes, I put it in the chat.
Okay,
My
yeah.
email is in the chat.
Yeah, because like I recently, like literally like yesterday, I'm about to become a dispatcher over there, the new company, Swift X. So yeah, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Good luck to you, my friend.
All right, thank you.
As long as Edna has a question. How do you handle companies who lowball the IC? Anybody?
Ooh, you're going to get that everywhere, you know, but the best thing to do is a lot of times the ones that are doing the lowballing, they're like 3PLs. Is I could just say go direct, you know, get your own contracts. But if it doesn't serve you, then don't do it, because you don't want to start on a contract and you end up in the hole. You know, you're doing the wear and tear on your vehicles, the time, gas, insurance, all of that stuff. So if it doesn't add up, you know, after you look at the routes, the miles, the gas, the expenses, you know, let it go. Every opportunity is isn't your opportunity.
And I would add to it, you're an independent contractor. You have the right to choose whether you want to do work or not do work. If it's not the right thing for you, decline politely, or tell them, hey, I need to be at X place in order to make it work for myself. And then the other business will make a business decision as to whether that works for them or not. But stand your ground. If it doesn't work for you, look for something better.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm happy to answer any further questions, and I will send all of this in the follow-up email to all of you along with the recording. And you are welcome to reach out to any of us with questions in the meantime after that. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
and have a
everyone.
great afternoon.
All right. Yeah.